this is the end. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Tony here for a little follow-up video, and you'll never believe what I found. You'll never believe what I discovered. I discovered that if you share anything about yourself on the internet, people have an opinion, which you already know that, most people, but it's super interesting to get people's thoughts and opinions and feedback about what's going on in your life. And those of you who took the time to do that, I appreciate that. It's probably not fair of me to really, I can't share everything about what is going on in my life in a 20-30 minute video, and nor will I, likely. And most people wouldn't understand if I did share exactly what was going on in my life. But you'll never believe what I found. I found a life coach on the internet, on YouTube, right here. A business coach, a life coach. Now, so after the last video I uploaded, I was encouraged. I was encouraged by the folks that took the time to drop by, took the time to rock with me. It was kind of a picking and packing / like State of the Union type thing, and I don't understand, some of the feedback, but that's okay, because it's the internet and there's going to be haters and trolls, and I don't really care. Man, I'm a chiropractor, so if you think that my skin's not thick, you best be moving along. So like the title says, you'll never believe what I found. You'll never believe what I found. That's a super good clickbait title for a reselling video. What I found was that everybody has an opinion about your life when they don't have to live it. And I do appreciate the feedback, definitely. I really do, genuinely. And I appreciate the criticisms and critiques even of the video. It's my first video in 5 years, guys. Give me a little bit of a break here. Like, one person commented, "Oh, if you can't take the time to focus on the video, I can't take the time to watch it." Well, that guy's clearly not in the reselling business. Like, that's what resellers do. Like, we're gonna pick and pack videos, we're gonna chit chat in between. Like, I don't understand that criticism at all, but that's okay. I appreciate the comment because, frankly, it just helps out the video. So thank you to whomever that was. One of the comments that I did get was kind of it was like a business / life coaching comment, and I did appreciate that. Talked about, being basically double-minded. You can't focus on so many things and expect to excel at anything, and that's true. I never said in that video that my chiropractic business was failing or wasn't what I wanted or needed it to be, because it's exactly what it's supposed to be at this juncture. That is also a part-time business, and I understand you might say, hey, you could do that full-time and it would be take care of all your needs, and you're right. And to someone else's comment on the last video, I can go get a job right now making $100,000 a year tomorrow, and start tomorrow. I have no doubt about that. Anywhere in the world, as a matter of fact. So, and $100,000 really isn't all that much money, and that's why I haven't done it. Frankly, because as a sole practitioner, as a business owner, the earning potential is double to triple to quadruple to, easily $500,000 a year. That's not outside of the realm of possibility, but you're not going to do that working for somebody else. You're just not. The highest paid associate that I know, which is what we call chiropractors or practitioners that work for somebody else, is around the $200 to $250 mark. And the majority of what they do is sell supplements. They don't crack backs. And not that I want to be a back cracker, but that's just for reference. So, but I didn't expect that feedback from you all, and I really do appreciate it. And this, um, you know, kind of, you know, go through that a little bit. I'm going to throw in a little bit of a short what sold. It's just part of a short that I'm going to put out as well. I had 4 items go out today, and I recorded those real quick this morning. I never really knew what I was going to do with this reselling thing when I was done with school. I kind of always envisioned that for the first several years it would be a major part of my income, just because I knew that I was going to start my own thing, and I knew that I was going to do that. So I needed some way to pay the bills, and obviously it still helps pay the bills. It's not my main source of revenue anymore, but you know, it still helps. I could see myself getting into selling equipment, chiropractic equipment, because there's always people getting rid of equipment and always people needing equipment. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen like the flea market flipper people who ship gigantic stuff. That's what I would have to get comfortable doing, and I have no problem doing that. I just haven't. Like when I get ready to get a new table, which is what we call, you know, where you lay down and where we do our adjusting, that's probably what I'll do. I'll sell it myself and organize the shipping and or delivery or whatever, and just see how that goes. But so yeah, I just never really knew what this was going to look like beyond, you know, it's been 2 years since I've graduated, almost 2 years, and maybe this is the end, or maybe this is like, you know, I didn't really talk about this, but really the reselling thing has been part-time. And while it was a main source of my income, it was a part-time job essentially that earned, you know, $5 or $6 grand a month for 4 years while I was in school. And it was, you know, that's really what it was. It was a part-time job that I could do whenever, you know, and I listed somewhere between, you know, 20 to 40 items every week, and usually that was 1 day a week that I had off of school, and I would do that, and then ship throughout the week, of course, but and then go sourcing. Pretty much many afternoons I would go sourcing just on my way home, and it would, you know, be like 45 minutes to an hour. It wasn't like this. So all in all, maybe I had 20 hours a week for 4 years into this gig. And so translating that after you get out of school and we're trying to decide where to go and where to set up shop and all that stuff, and there's a lot more to that story that I could share, and maybe I will at some point. But you know, we landed here in Florida after many months. We moved here in November after I'd been graduated for 5 months. I'd been graduated, so for 4 months. And so I never really knew what it was going to look like. We did this whole transition thing and really didn't give it any thought. And to a person's comment about being double-minded, and I totally get that, because I was going to say, like in that last video, like, you can't half-ass 2 things. You should whole-ass 1 thing. Like, that's just sound advice, right? The problem is there's more to the story on the chiropractic side than I've shared here, and I probably won't share any more of that. But it's not a problem. It's just the way the part of the plan for that is just not ready yet. And for that side of my life and business, and for part of that, I can't necessarily build a giant practice where I have to be tied to it. And so I'm building a virtual practice with supplementation and helping people that way. So I can do that from anywhere in the world, literally, and that's part of this whole thing. So it's very strategic, whether you think it is or not, being out there in you know, the interwebs land. It's strategic. It's just embracing the suckiness in the meantime, and that's why I wanted this reselling thing to be, you know, really part of that. So, you know, I think I've I had fun making that video, the last video. I don't really care to do what sold videos all the time. That's just not who I am. But So I can't believe I found it right here on the internet. I found what I was looking for. I found the life coach. I found the business coach. And I do appreciate those comments. And it really made me think, like, the lack of self-discipline. Yes, there has been that. There has been that in my reselling business for sure, because there were days when we first moved. Well, so there's just some things that I had to work through too when we moved. For 4 years, I intended to go back to Texas. I intended to go back to a place that I loved and wanted to live and start this practice that I have, or, one of the practice that I have now. Texas wouldn't give me a license without 20 more hours of school. Now, I just spent, the majority of 4 years in school when they delivered this news to me. And we were heartbroken. Like, literally, we were heartbroken. And had to figure out what to do. You're not going to stay in the town where the chiropractic was founded, because there's a chiropractor on every corner. Now, I'm not every chiropractor. Now it'd be different, and could very well do just fine there, but who wants to live in the middle of Iowa either? But so we spent months, like, grieving that, and then I started this practice, and it was mobile, and I was doing concierge type stuff, and I just didn't care for it. It just wasn't, my thing. And you could say whatever you want. It wasn't, it was earning, under $2,000 a month. And it wasn't like it was like, oh my goodness, this is life-changing money, In my office, it's $2,000 in a couple of hours. And they come to me. So that's just a better use of my time and the patient's time. So there's a lot of transitions, a lot of stuff to think through, and you might say I should have thought about all that while I was going to school, and I had job offers, and I had associateships and internship offers, but it's a little different for me because I have a family. I have 4 other people that I need to think about and be concerned with, and I'm not going to go live somewhere in the suburbs of Chicago or Austin, Texas. I would have lived there, but they wouldn't have me. I couldn't do that. So I needed to go somewhere that we were going to stay for a long time, and we absolutely love the Panhandle. We love the Emerald Coast, the beaches, the beautiful water, and the cool part is too that there's an hour up the road, there's beautiful forests and rivers, and it's just a beautiful place. And so, if nothing else, we've just really enjoyed that. And who knows what's next, really. But as for what's next in this reselling game, I don't think I answered that question. Well, maybe I did in the last video, and it's just do what you know how to do and make it good. And to the point, to one of the commenters' points of being double-minded, this is really, at this point, it's a hobby. The reselling gig is just a hobby. And if it grows to being $100,000 a year, cool. So it's not like this is a dire situation and I'm not like homeless, and we're not, in any way, shape, or form, fearful of that. So it's just a matter of what do I want to do with it is what I need to figure out. And how do I want to go about it? I have some ideas, and I'm going to work through those and think about them, and maybe I'll share them here and we can talk about it together. But for now, just thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. That was really cool and appreciated. Hopefully you guys, either take something away or learn something, or just are encouraged that, hey, not every day is rosy. Not every day is the mountaintop. Some days you're just slogging through it, and trying to figure it out, and I've seen this happen over the years with resellers. People want to be full time, and then it just doesn't work out. Because frankly, just because you work 40 hours doesn't mean you're going to double what you were doing before. Say I worked 20 hours before, I'm not going to immediately be at $12,000. That just doesn't, that's not how it works. It's probably more like you go from 6,000 to 8,000, and then somehow you got to find your source, and you got to find your rhythm, and then maybe you get to 10,000. Like it's incremental, unless you're somebody cool and whatnot and you just rock it out. I don't know, but those people also work their tail off, and they're focused, and they see the vision and make it happen. And I'm super proud of those guys, and support them in that. It's not what I want to do. I'm not that entertaining. I'm not going to dance, for the camera. I'm not going to put on a banana suit. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. I don't have a banana suit handy, but yeah. So anyway, if nothing else, I've found some balance, and found some, not balance, I don't even like that word, because frankly, just to rewind, when I worked for that big cartoon mouse, I worked between 60 and 80 hours a week for the better part of 10 years. So I'm no stranger to work. I'm no stranger to doing whatever it takes to make things happen. And you could say there's no self-discipline, and you'd be right in some cases and in some things. But it's just a matter of, I think, cosmic timing, if you want to say it that way. It's a matter of when things are ready to fall into place, when things are ready to come into being, both in my mind and in the reality of things. They will be. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes a little sense to me, but I'm not sharing everything either, but I'm here on a mission, and reselling isn't my mission. Let's just say it that way. But it can be my hobby, because I do enjoy it. I enjoy the thrill of the hunt, like we all do, right? So I'm here for it, and I hope you are too. We'll talk to you soon.